Hi, my name's RJ.
I'm Nicole.
I'm Gigi.
And we're here to talk about mental health.
So this is a bigger topic, but we just wanted to do like a brief introduction to it just to start it off.
Insert jazz hands.
I wasn't just...
I was, though.
Okay.
Okay. Who wants to start?
Well, I mean, mental health is like kind of a big deal these
Hold
days.
on, there's a car.
Oh my god. Okay, so it's kind of a big thing these days with more teenagers than ever reporting like high rates of depression or anxiety or other things, and I don't know, it just feels very relevant.
It's very interesting because on one hand, I do think with our society that mental health is becoming a rising issue. But I also think that also because of our society, there's a lot of people that say they have mental health issues and actually don't.
Mental health has become romanticized.
Glorified.
It's like glorified. It's like if you don't have mental health, you're not struggling, and therefore you aren't worthy of happiness or love or something.
Did it stop? I swear to God if it stopped. No, it's on. It's on. We good.
It's like you're not worthy of happiness or love that people who do have mental health. Then that's kind of rough, especially for people healing.
It kind of
takes the joy out of like getting better away a little bit, because then people like almost act like they don't value you as much.
Yeah.
And it almost takes the like severity out of it. That's
Yeah.
So, let's get more personal about mental health. Hey.
Why don't you start?
Fine, let me finish crunching my pretzel.
You said you would stop doing that.
I know, they look so yummy. Okay. Do. Okay, we won't go through the whole story, but basically, I've been struggling with anxiety since like 6th grade. I'm in 9th grade now, for context. So, almost 4-ish years since we're like right at the end of 9th grade. Yeah, it's not good. I don't even know really where to start, because there's like a ton of stuff that happened in middle school that like isn't really relevant anymore. It's just like stuff that happened in my life that may or may not have caused anxiety, which is kind of weird because a lot of people talk about anxiety as like something you're born with, but like for me, I didn't have anxiety until I started middle school, and I started a new school, and we completely moved, and we were living in a hotel for a month because we didn't have a house, and I was behind in schoolwork, and I couldn't sleep, and I didn't eat, and it was pretty great. And so like that time in my life is when I started to like start getting like really, really anxious about stuff and just like nervous all the time. And I think actually going back to our more general topics of mental health, a lot of people confuse nervousness with anxiety, because there's such thing as like being nervous when there is a situation that warrants it, and that's what I would consider being nervous. Because like if you have a test, or you have a big game coming up, or like something's happening with your friends or whatever, you get nervous because there's like a situation that warrants it. Where to me, at least in my life, anxiety has been like excessive nervousness without a reason. Like it's just there without a situation happening that would make you nervous, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. So, okay. So that's when it like started in my life. It wasn't something that I've had my whole life, I guess. Does anyone else want to talk about?
I mean, you can go.
Well, I've also struggled with anxiety for a really long time. However, unlike RJ, I don't know what made it start, because I mean, ever since I was in kindergarten, I've had pretty bad anxiety. I wouldn't go to school because I was afraid of certain I wouldn't go to school because I was afraid of certain things. Like different things triggered my anxiety, like fire drills or elevators, like just random stuff that would trigger my anxiety, and I would cry and not go to school. And this didn't stop until about 4th grade, when I kind of got a handle on things a little bit more, and like then I was kind of being forced to go to school. And it actually did help, because then, like, from then on, I haven't really had many problems, and I've grown out of like that type of anxiety. However, now it's shifted more towards like school. Like schoolwork, I get anxious about it, and I can't feel like I can't breathe 90% of the time, and like not just stress, like almost stress related anxiety, but also anxiety of social situations. I've barely gone to any social events this school year. Like it's just it's that type of thing. I can't form words.
No, I know what you mean.
Yeah. We're anxiety buddies then, because I'm pretty sure I was born with it. I'm the 7th person in my family that I know of to be diagnosed with some sort of disorder, which is kind of whack. But I started seeing school counselors at the age of 7 for it, and I don't know. It's been going on my whole life, and it's just something I've kind of had to deal with. But it's just like fear of, when I was a young kid, it was fear mostly of social settings. I had terrible social anxiety, and as I've grown older, it's changed, and I don't know. But it's always been there, and it remains around, and I've gotten a lot of help for it, and I've gotten a lot better. And yeah, it's a part of my life, but yeah, I don't know what else to say.
I was gonna say something and then lost my train of thought. Let me think.
Okay.
I don't know. Wait, does anyone else have anything to say? Because I completely lost my train of thought.
I don't know. Like, I feel like, I don't know, a lot of these things get worse with age if left untreated, and you often hear about it when it comes to the context of teenagers or high schoolers, but I mean, these things persist into adulthood a lot of the time, and
You don't just grow out of it.
exactly.
Right.
I don't know what I was gonna say.
And that's not to say there aren't things that make it worse, because there are, and like
Oh, yeah.
being on the internet, sometimes there are very toxic places on the internet. That's not to say the internet or social media can't be a good thing, but there's needs to be more of a recognition for when it's actually causing more harm than good.
Mm-hmm.
I would actually agree with that, because not too long ago I was just feeling really, really down, and I kind of got off all social media and just like started doing things that like I never on my phone and stuff, and it's actually really helped with like my ability to kind of communicate to people, and also my ability to not just like hide things online and maybe talk to people a little bit more, although I still am not good at that, and my counselor yelled at me for it. Not yelled, but was not happy about it.
Rip, I'm sorry.
She's like, you need to stop bottling these things up. Tell someone. And I thought for sure she was going to email my parents, but she didn't. That's actually good.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yes, I agree with both of these points. I think that social media can be a good thing, but similar to both Nicole and Gigi, I also had habits of like just, you know, like, turning to the internet and turning to YouTube or whatever to just, like, numb everything and just, like, not talk to people at all and just, like, sit in my own misery. And sitting in your own misery is not good. And that's what the internet does.
You sit in your own misery with other people who are sitting in misery.
Right.
Exactly. And none of you get anywhere.
Yeah.
And like, everyone's just like bouncing off each other's negativity.
Because the other people on the internet are not therapists. Like, they can't help you. And if you try and get help from them, it'll seem like it gets better for a while, and then you're gonna get kind of dumped lower than you were in the first place. And then, like Gigi said, I kind of just completely got off the internet and things drastically improved. Like, people, especially teenagers, because our whole lives are on the internet, and I don't mean to be that in the way of oh, we only care about social media and iGen or whatever, because that's not what I'm saying at all. Because it's that's Gen Z, we're called iGen, the iPhone generation. And so I know, it's hilarious. But it's not about that, because I think what older generations don't realize is that they were the ones that constructed the digital world for us to live on. They're trying to get us off of the phones, and I was put down your phone, get off your computer, stop watching Netflix. They were the ones that put us there, though. We are not old enough to have built those gadgets and the servers and the programming and the devices. They built that, and they raised our generation on it. And now we're in a position where every single part of our lives is on the internet. We do all of our schoolwork on the internet. Our classrooms are on the internet. All of our resources are on the internet. We connect with our friends on the internet. We find things on the internet. Instead of going to the library, we go on the internet. You look it up on a database. That's just how the world works at this point, and there's not a way to disconnect from that, because that's where every single thing is. And so there has to be a pretty strong line of where the internet is hurting you and where it is helping you, because there's not a way to completely get off of it. So you just have to know, sorry for the noises around, you have to be able to know yourself which places are healthy for you and which things are going to make you feel worse. So social media might not be a great place if you have mental health problems, because this lovely group of people has said, you sit in your own misery with people who are also in misery, and the truck is back, and and you just feel more miserable because of it. So
yeah, and so some other coping mechanisms are just doing stuff you love, and it can be really, really hard to get up and actually do something.
Yeah. And people say that all the time. They're oh yeah, just get up off the couch and do what you love, without understanding how
really hard. We've been there. It's difficult.
It's hard. You don't, when you do those things, you have to acknowledge that it is really hard, because if you let people make you believe that it's going to be easy, or if you make yourself think that it's just whatever, it's discouraging yourself from getting up. We're just going to use that as a scar. Do things you love. Getting up, but you also devalue it, so that when you do get up, it's not important anymore, because it's oh, it's so easy, it doesn't even matter. But if you can find the courage and the strength to get up, and even if it's just walking around the block or going to the kitchen to get a glass of water, you don't want to devalue that, because it's so important that you were able to do that. Mm-hmm. And people telling you that it's so easy and it's not a big deal isn't fair, because it is really hard, and it does matter a lot if you can. When you get there.
Another common thing I've heard from just people and my people and adults especially is oh, all teenagers probably deal with this. I'll mention something that's hard for me, going to the bathroom during school. I get super anxious. I won't go to the bathroom all day, and even if I really need to. And I've heard, I told someone, and they told me probably all teenagers are probably that way. Everyone deals with that. And it kind of just puts it in a place that's like, your problems aren't important.
Yeah.
And it's just, that's not how it should be thought of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and one of the best things to remember is, I mean, it does get better.
As
But
much as people say that, and you're like, oh, whatever.
But it does. But
does.
it won't get better
Unless you do
magically,
something
but
about
because you need to actually put in just a little bit of work, and it's hard. It's really, really hard. But
if you do,
you
then
can get there.
You will get there.
Yeah.
And like even like for me, I have improved so much with like anxiety and depression and stuff. Like
Me too.
last year was really, really rough.
Last year,
Like the first semester of this year was it was not good. But like I talked to my parents unwillingly, but like we got there and I got to like start seeing doctors and therapists, which like is kind of a pain in the butt because
and it's expensive.
it's so expensive, but like it helped. And then like being able to talk to those people, it like gave me the ability to actually talk to people that I know better about it, so I can talk to my friends about it and I can talk to my parents about it. And it's not perfect, but it's a work in progress. And then you build on that work in progress. And then like this year, like just this second semester, I've improved so much. Like my anxiety, of course, I'm still like constantly on edge. Like I'm not ever completely anxiety free, but like the depression has gone way, way down. It is very, very rare that I will be so down in the dumps that I can't get out of bed. And my anxiety has gone down to like, it hasn't gone down per se, but I've learned how to manage it.
Yeah.
And that's the difference. And so things have like gotten so much better, and there are still going to be like relapses where it's going to be awful, but it's better.
Yeah.
Does anyone have anything else to say?
If you need help,
Reach out to somebody.
someone. Maybe not us, but you could reach out to us to get the next steps, because we are not doctors, we are not therapists.
No, we're
But
humans. We're human
human.
people.
And we do care.
Yes.
Someone always cares.
Internet.
We are
As
on
we
the
said
internet.
before, that's not the place to get the
It's
help.
not the place to get the help, but it can be a place to start.
To start to get the help.
Right.
Yes.
So, if you would like to reach out to us, our email is youthpodcast22@gmail.com. youthpodcast22@gmail.com. And we will be happy to email you back and answer your questions, or just chat if you want.
Oh, no caps, no spaces.
Yes, no caps, no spaces, no periods or dashes or whatever. And yeah, we are here. We are not therapists, but we are here to help you get the first steps. And we are looking forward to more podcasts on mental health topics and to chat even more. And yeah. Okay. Bye.
Bye.